So 2 weeks ago, we talked about emotions and feelings and why your feelings are always valid.
Always.
And we ended the video a little bit abruptly because we realized we had a story to share with you. So that's what we're gonna do today.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about basically a continuation of our video that we put out 2 weeks ago on emotions and why your feelings are always valid and managing those emotions and what can happen when we don't sometimes manage them and how they can spill over into your friends' lives, into your family members, your loved ones, whatever it may be.
All of it. So we have a real story that happened. So a number of months ago, Jen was in Buffalo getting ready for an interview that she had. The morning of the interview, I was feeling really stressed and really overwhelmed. And I was driving Jen to her interview, and mentally, as I was driving, I start going through my entire laundry list of things that I had to do, which then created a very anxious state for me.
Which then really quickly bled into how I was feeling. I was already feeling anxious because I had an interview and I wanted so badly to live in Buffalo, and this was like the thing that was gonna bring me here. But I also know that Julia and I are both anxious people. We both struggle with anxiety. I'll never forget, we were driving in the car and I think we
thought it was
drove
at one
past,
building.
Yep, but it was at a different building, and Julia
And I was like, I can just
really upset.
Very tense interaction 5 minutes before she's going in for an interview. And because I was so anxious and I wasn't in the best headspace to be self-aware, to recognize what I was doing, I was in the tornado of the anxiety. Like sometimes,
which is a great term.
you know, like sometimes you're just in it. And I fully believe that when you are in it, like in the apex of it, don't even expect yourself to recognize what you're doing. I think the best thing that you can hope for is that once you're out of it, a few minutes later, you had that self-awareness to recognize what was just happening. That's the win. And so I'm in my anxiety tornado. And it bled into her. And literally, I think you got out of the car with it was like me being like, I'm sorry, and like good luck, and you being like, I need to go.
I was like, just pop your trunk so I can get my luggage, and I'm just gonna be best friends for 25 plus years. This is a gift because I know Julia was feeling anxious. I was feeling anxious, and literally the moment I got upstairs and I sat down, Julia sent me a really long text message apologizing and saying like, I'm just really, really stressed. I am so sorry that it's coming out now. I know you're gonna kill it on the interview. I love you so much. And it's just being aware. That was that self. Are you crying?
No, well, I felt so badly.
And I was like, it's okay. I know that you're stressed. I know that you're anxious. I love you. Don't cry.
No.
You can cry. Your feelings are valid.
This is the real shit though, guys, right? Is that like it sometimes feels like a burden to be anxious. And it sucks when you feel your emotion bleed out and impact people that you love. But the best thing that we can do for it, you know, like you guys see me crying, but like genuinely, I feel really good. It brings up emotion of like noticing that there's always work to do, right? 100%. And it's hard. Like I want you guys to know that I feel you, because this is me and it is Jen, of feeling guilty sometimes when those emotions bleed out and end up creating bad interactions with people that you love. But the best thing that could happen, which is what I did, was I recognized it, you know, like she got out of the car and I was like, oh God, that felt horrible.
And you recognized it literally immediately. That made me feel good, and that made me feel so proud of you that like you were able to acknowledge that. And 100%. Sometimes it's super uncomfortable to admit that like you feel guilty about the way that you reacted to someone. And I know that Julia has had these experiences. I've had so many of those where it's like that anxiety manifests into a lot of anger and it comes out, and then I feel 10 times worse because I took out that emotion on someone else unintentionally.
Completely.
It was not intentional that this happened. Julia didn't plan to be anxious on the day of my interview. That it just happens. Life shows up. But this is about doing the work, is that instead of 2 days later realizing it, literally 5 minutes after I got out of the car, you recognized it.
100%.
And I appreciate that. And that's the growth. That's the growth. Like we say with anxiety, the severity or the length of time that it lasts gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
So right.
That was such a great example.
So I think in those moments we can be hard on ourselves, right? So I'm feeling so hard on myself for how I acted, and it blinds me from being able to recognize in that moment there was growth, because it only took a minute.
Literally.
And I was able to realize, oh God, I don't feel proud of how that entire interaction went down, and I could have done a better job. And that is the work. And that also is like the beauty of having real close relationships with like your friends, with your family, that like you really do feel like you always have a safe space to just be how you are, and to know that all it takes is the self-awareness and to say I'm sorry, and you get the forgiveness from the person, you know? Exactly. And that is really, I think, so important, that learning how to be self-aware and call yourself on your shit, and learning how to forgive people, because we're all human beings doing our best job.
Oh my God, I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
And we love you guys.
Yes, we do. We thank you for watching these and dealing with our emotions.
I mean, this is why we started the channel, guys, is we want to talk about the real stuff. Like, I just spontaneously cried on camera, and that's what it's all about.
I'm so proud of you. That takes a lot. I mean, I'm not like a professional YouTuber, but I feel like that takes a lot to like let yourself be that vulnerable. I guarantee you it'll happen to me at some point, because our emotions are super strong.
That's what you guys can like guarantee from this channel. Like, that's what makes me so
cry.
Excited. Yeah, we're gonna cry. We're gonna get into the real shit.
We're gonna be real.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. We're gonna call ourselves out on our shit.
Totally. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the bell.
Yes, hit the bell and subscribe so you don't miss out.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hi, friends.
Oh, whoops. That's weird. I was on my own YouTube channel for a second. I just did hello.
Oh,
weird.
I love when you do that.
That's so weird.
I love your YouTube channel.
That's so weird.
That's okay. Sometimes they say hi, guys.
Okay,
And
ready?
that's not what we're doing.